Hello everyone and welcome to a round table discussion. We're literally round a table right now. We're actually here. I'm with Tony. Say hello.
Hello.
And with Rich.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about the brand new games, the craziness that has gone down recently, if you've been following on everywhere, the internet in general. Pokemon X and Y, brand new games. The 6th generation has been released. Not released yet, but information-wise released. And we know that they are coming out this year, October 2013, in every single place that matters at once. Simultaneous release, which is pretty crazy. What do you guys think of the fact that it's going to be everywhere just on the same day? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I first of all think it's really quick. Like, this year, they announce it, and then not even a full year after that it comes out. I feel like that's really quick, especially since Black and White 2, like you mentioned in your video, was not that long ago.
When did it come out, Black and White 2? It was like, in America and Europe, it was like summer last year, I think.
Yeah, I can look that up.
Yeah.
I think the initial release date of Black White 2 was sometime in like June, and like that was like a Japanese release, and then I think like the American was like August or September.
Yeah, that made sense. It was like September-ish time. I honestly don't remember because we all played the freaking Japanese one first, because you know that's how we roll with the ROMs and everything.
Except me, I was still downloading it.
Tony's incredible internet, if you are not aware.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. No, this is pretty crazy. Now, I think what they probably did was had this game in development long before, as soon as 3DS was conceived, they basically probably had this in development, because I'm for certain that they didn't just stop Black White 2 and suddenly start working on this and it's already at this stage. There's no way that that's happened. They've definitely been working on this for a long time. The fact that it's, a brand new engine, as we can see, we'll talk about that later. But, yeah, it has to be, it doesn't make sense otherwise. It just is nuts. And I think, honestly, because Black and White 2 was so similar to Black and White, it didn't mean they had to put so many resources into that, so they probably just concentrated most on this and kept working away in the background. And, well, here we have it. It's pretty crazy. That's that. So, yes, right. So, first of all, we're going to jump into the names of the games themselves. Now, obviously, previous Pokemon titles have been colors or stones of shiny nature, and now, just fuck everything. Let's
Chromosomes! Yay!
DNA, yes!
Yeah, you could look at it that way. You could either look at it that way, or you could look at it as a base level of, it's the alphabet with Sesame Street. Yay, X, Y, Z.
You're just starting at the back.
Yeah, exactly. We're just starting the back. Then, obviously A, B, and C will be 7th gen, clearly. So
I mean, that's a given, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Indubitably.
what are our thoughts on X and Y as names? Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure what to think about it yet.
Yeah.
Honestly. Could have been worse, like Pokemon Rainbow. Which was rumored, and Pokemon Trinity has also been rumored, so I don't know, I don't think it's that bad, especially when you look at the legendaries with the X and Y shapes, which we'll cover later, but yeah, I'm not necessarily negative about it, but I'm not sure what to think about it yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's like I'm not really feeling it yet. I mean, yeah, I guess it is kind of like a, break from the traditional, like y'all said, the colors or the stones. But, yeah, definitely, the names tie into the legendaries, once we see them. So, I mean, yeah, kind of neutral right now.
Yeah. It's just out of the blue. It's like, oh, here we are, we're just gonna do random things now. We always wondered, like, one day they're gonna run out of colors and things and stones, and they haven't really run out of them at this point. They're kind of like, yeah, we'll just do something completely different. And that's the names, X and Y. As you said, like Tony, the fact that the legendaries are like mimicked in the actual logo, I like that. I definitely think
I
that's
do
a
as
good
well.
thing.
I think they did a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm. it actually kind of helps us to differentiate which one belongs to which version, because when you look at them in the trailer, they both kind of look like they're Y, because the deer one is like, antlers pointing out and then just like its body going down, so it kind of looks like a Y. And then the flying one looks like a Y as well, whereas actually the deer is the X one, and you can clearly see that from the logo. So, yeah, good. It helps us differentiate at least, which is kind of cool. So we'll just jump straight into the main things that we know, the starters for starting with. Let's just go into those guys. So obviously, we not breaking away from tradition. You got your grass, fire, and water starters, and let's just go in that order, I guess. That's the order that I covered them in the previous video. It's kind of the order that they're given to you in the trailer as well, I think. So we'll start with grass, which is a Chespin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Tony, do you want to give us your thoughts on Chespin?
Well, MBZ, now that you mention it, the first thing that was going through my mind when I saw Chespin was the Happy Tree Friends theme. And it looks like, do you guys know Happy Tree? You probably do.
Yeah.
I was like, why is there a Happy Tree Friend in a Pokemon game? That's so inappropriate. I was like thinking, what if it grabs a fork and starts stabbing the other starters? This is not good. We can't have that. And also, it has very similar facial features to several other quote-unquote cute Pokemon, like Amolga and Pachirisu, for example.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that original of a Pokemon.
I agree. I think like it's kind of a beaverish feel. It's like in a suit, kind of grass suit. It doesn't really feel like it's actually a grass Pokemon. Like the hat, looks like it's wearing a hat.
A nutshell thing.
Yeah, almost. Which kind of makes sense because like chestnut. Like is it in a chestnut shell? Like I don't know. Like a few people in the comments of the previous video are like talking about what the meanings of the fire Pokemon's name were. We'll go over that in a second. I still don't know what the pin for Chespin is relating to. I can't think. Because, that's how they name Pokemon. They usually take like two words that kind of, theme themselves around what the Pokemon looks like and then jam them together. I can't think of anything with pin. Thoughts? Nope, nothing.
No, I don't know either.
The only thing that could even possibly ring a bell is like pin missile, like for a move maybe. But
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Aside from that, like blanks are being drawn.
Yes, this is true. I honestly, it's not very original in terms of what it looks like. The face is just like happy clappy. And then it's just like, oh, okay. It's kind of cool. I don't know what it will look like in terms of like an evolution, because I think Amolga doesn't evolve and Pachirisu doesn't evolve, right?
That is correct.
They just stay as they are. So I'm interested to see what the happy clappy Pokemon becomes, because we haven't really seen that before. And what does that face evolve into?
I have no idea.
Time
will tell.
Bit of speculation on typing. Rich, any ideas?
I don't know, because we were all talking about like the whole, like how it kind of looks like, like the cutesy Pokemon. And now that I look at it a little bit more, like the kind of like derp, like buck teeth kind of remind me of like Bidoof. Mm-hmm. So I know that we were like kind of pre-discussing this, but I mean, the more and more I look at it, I'm thinking it might be kind of like Sawsbuck, like a grass normal type. Mm-hmm. There are other speculations, like you said, that were in the comments of your video that were saying like it was hitting like Golurk for a super effective move in the trailer. So like Grass Dark was thrown out there, and I guess I can also kind of see that as well, like having it be kind of like starting off as like a C-dot thing, like with the whole like little hat on his head.
Yeah.
And then like evolving and later on to like a big fierce
pirate.
Beast that Tony was talking about from Happy Tree Friends that just wrecks people's face.
That would actually make sense, That's funny. The dark typing people have been throwing around. We have a dark grass in the form of Shiftry, right? Mm-hmm. He's cool. I like Shiftry. Not a great Pokemon competitively, but has its uses. As the chlorophyll, he can be He can do stuff.
Has a beard.
He has a bit. The greatest feature. Are we
Beardy.
predicting a beard on this guy? Because I think that would.
I don't know yet.
I think this thing is too cute for a beard.
When you look at C-Dot, you can kind of picture, yeah, he'll probably get a beard later, but when you look at Chespin,
No, it just doesn't quite hit the same mark there. But
I think Chespin will be pure grass.
in its final form, you think it'll?
No, in its form now. I have no idea what it'll evolve.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that all the starters will just be their pure form. That generally happens, doesn't it? Like with most
I think
of the first evolutions.
Everything except Torterra and Venusaur have been pure grass.
No,
Turtwig
was grass. Turtwig was pure grass.
In the first stage.
Yeah, Turtwig was grass, and Grotto was grass, and then it got ground when it evolved into Torterra.
Oh yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bulbasaur was poison already.
Is that the only one that had dual typing from the start?
Yeah. Bulbasaur was the only one that had dual typing from the get-go.
Wow, yeah. Well, it's pretty much certain to be that. If it becomes normal grass, I guess I'll be a little bit disappointed, because it's like, well...
Wait, no, Mudkip. Mudkip was water ground. No, wait, was it?
No,
it was
Mudkip
water.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Marshtomp was ground.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm just derping. I like Mudkips.
I heard you like Mudkips. Yes. Pretty much. No, that makes sense. I mean, they're all basically going to be their original typing from the get-go, so that's what we got. And obviously, we don't have much to go on. We have the Japanese name, though, courtesy of PokeBeach. Thank you, PokeBeach.com. Go look at them, they're cool. The Japanese name is Harimaron, which is a bad Japanese accent. Does this tell us anything? No, I don't think so.
No,
so...
if anything, grass fighting, because it kind of sounds like Hariyama.
Maybe. Who knows?
That's it. But probably not.
Fantastic insight there. Anyway, I think we've talked about that guy enough. He's beaten down, and looked at him in enough detail. Let's go on to the fire starter, Fennekin, which I was told by someone in the comments that I had no idea what the name was from. Apparently, there's a fox called a fennel fox, and then kin is kindle, you kindle a fire. So
right.
It's kind of how that fits together.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Previously, I was like, the fuck is this name? I like Finks. The Germans know what's up. But yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. What do you guys think of this thing? It's kind of cool, I guess.
No. I was like, why is there a My Little Pony in Pokemon? It's so girly.
Why did you say that for Keldeo? Hello?
Yeah, My Little.
No, I feel like this with the big eyes and the this is
and the things going out of his ear.
Yeah, that too.
The fucking ear hair. What is this?
Man, I was like, why is this directed to 10-year-old girls? I mean, I saw them in order as we cover it now. First I see Chespin, which is quote-unquote adorable, and then I see the My Little Pony. I'm like, oh my god. This is not gonna end well. I thought it was... Yeah, I thought it was directed towards 10-year-old girls when I saw the first two starters, and I don't like Fennekin. Now, maybe when I see its evolution, I get all hypocritical and go, oh, I like Fennekin, but for now, no.
No. Rich?
Yeah, I see it, and all I see is, Vulpix.
Yeah.
That's all I see. It's just, I see it, and it's just that's all that screams at me. It's fluffy little fox thing, and...
Which is a fire type. So.
Exactly, which is a fire type, so Vulpix.
Yeah.
That's my analysis, Vulpix.
Do you think it will become a Ninetales-esque type thing when it evolves, is the question.
Oh, if it doesn't, I'll be shocked. I mean, as frilly as this thing looks right now, they're going to make it, as elegant looking as Ninetales looks.
Oh, hopefully. I mean, they can surprise us. Like, who could have called the Oshawott evolved into Samurott? That was just, what the fuck? Like, they still do some strange things for certain, so it could be completely different to what our expectations are. But yeah, it's probably overall my least favorite of the starters, as both you kind of indicated it wasn't very good. Coloring wise kind of gives me an inclination towards typing, and I kind of mentioned maybe electric, but then people were saying it used a psychic move in the video, therefore it's fire psychic. And of course we have one fire psychic in the form of Victini from 5th gen, and I personally love Victini and I think it's awesome. Fire psychic isn't like a phenomenal typing, but it's nice. I like it, and I would certainly be prepared to see another one. So you think that's a likelihood? It could be.
Can I mention Darmanitan Zen mode also being fire psychic?
You can, though. It's like completely like irrelevant in terms of competitive talk. But yes, you may mention it. It has been
okay,
mentioned.
good. I guess it could be fire psychic, but Ninetales uses all kinds of ghost type moves. And has the creepy thing, and it's in Pokemon Ruby Sapphire. It's caught on Mount Pyre or whatever that's pronounced, and that's the ghosty thing, tower thing.
Oh, true.
And that's a pure fire type as well, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if it uses a psychic type attack, it could still be pure fire or anything else. Really.
Like you get like bite on Totodile or whatever when it's low level, so it doesn't really indicate anything.
Exactly, but we'll see. I again think pure fire, and I have no idea what it'll evolve in, what it'll look. I hope actually it's not gonna look like very gracious, but I would like it to look very badass instead of My Little Pony.
You want that contrast there between the original form and the fire.
I hope they're gonna do something crazy and give it tanks or something, and just
Blastoise with the fox mashup.
We'll see what happens though. Steel plating maybe? Fire steel?
Yeah, I see that. Fire steel with a Heatran going down.
Yeah. Not bad.
Maybe a fast Heatran. That would be damn awesome. I'd like to see that. Yeah. But that's pretty much that thing. It has like a bulb as its tail, which it just like looking at it. How it would function physically, like, it doesn't really make sense to make this discussion because it's Pokemon and it doesn't make sense regardless, but like, how would you keep that tail up? Like, it seems like it's heavier than its entire body. It would like flop down. It also looks it's like being dipped in paint or something.
It's kind of like a Smeargle tail.
Yeah, it does have like maybe it learns Sketch.
That would be broken.
That would be very interesting.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
People would give it Spore and make me cry.
Oh man. That'd be terrible.
People would give it like a water type attack just to like say, hey, I'm a fire type and I can use a water attack. Screw you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. That's the thing that we probably don't like the most, but it's there and it's going to be in the game, so there's nothing we can really do about it. Let's move on to the final starter, which is Froakie. He's a frog. He's a water type. Not like that's anything new. He is a glass of water type. And we have frogs before, Toxicroak, Seismitoad, one of them being a water type, also water ground.
Politoed.
Oh, Politoed. God, how can I forget Politoed? Jeez. It's like the Pokemon.
Venusaur, maybe-ish?
Venusaur?
It's kind of toady.
Yeah, okay, sure, Tony. Okay.
Really? What do you guys think Venusaur is then?
Venusaur? It's not
It's a plant.
Yeah.
No, that's unacceptable.
It's a frog with a plant on its back.
You heard it here.
Therefore, It's not a frog.
Oh, come on.
What frog has a plant on its back? Don't answer that, because you'll
The concept of Froakie was unoriginal to begin with Croagunk, Toxicroak, Politoed, and Seismitoad, but then to realize it's not even the first starter frog, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what do you think, Froakie? Do you like it, design-wise, or
I like it the most out of the three. The only thing I don't like is the lack of originality and another frog/toad thing.
Yeah.
But I like its design the best out of all three. And just like you, I generally go towards water starters the last couple of generations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, design-wise, obviously, I mean, at this point, if you think about it, there's like 700 of these fucking things. Like, how much more original can they go? But I do admit that going with a frog as a water type is kind of just like a bit of a cop-out, and they definitely could have done something more interesting. But design-wise, I like it. Rich, anything that you can say about that?
I don't like how big like the eyes are. Like I feel it's got like too much like of the googly like just big huge eyes. I mean that's my only real complaint about like the actual like artwork design of it. I'm in the same boat as you two, whereas I don't necessarily like the fact that it's another frapping, frog
Frapping
starter Pokemon. Like I said, it's too. It's like they couldn't have like thought of like a shark starter. I mean, I know there's Sharpedo, but I mean like another shark starter would have been like amazing, or a shark starter.
That would be really cool. I definitely would have liked that.
Like a fish or something like that. I mean, something else.
Dude, a dolphin. Imagine a dolphin.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Man, we should work for the Pokemon Company. Jesus Christ.
Right. Game Freak, we're coming for you.
Yeah. You let that American design the Vanillux. We got better than that. Easy. We got this. If you look at those two white things at the end of his nose, is that his nostrils? Because I could also interpret them as like mini glasses, like mini librarian glasses. That makes no sense. Like that's kind of what it looks like to me.
For when it wants to read.
Yeah, obviously, frogs go to the library often. Maybe.
I think they're not glasses.
No.
It would be great if they would be.
Yeah.
It would give him a sense of class,
Yeah. I think so. But I just honestly don't know what they are. Like, they don't really look like nostrils, though. And do frogs even have nostrils? Like...
Maybe they're like airbags.
Airbags. Yes.
And it gets hit by close combat or something, and like...
Perhaps.
protection.
Perhaps.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Just perhaps they're used for his signature move.
Which would be...
Nostril slam.
Nostril slam! Confirmed! Froakie, nostril slam. Slam. I can't speak.
Base 90 power, 100% accuracy.
Yes.
Has the chance to decrease the opponent's accuracy by 10%.
Yeah, good. He also has like this cloud thing behind his head. Like fluff. Like fluffy, cloudy type backpackish neck garb, the scarf type thing. I don't know what that is kind of indicating, but maybe flying type along the way. I don't know.
A flying frog.
I believe that when frogs fly.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing that broke it down. But then again, it's Pokemon and anything can happen. So
very true.
This is it's unpredictable.
Maybe. What do you guys think that the eventual typing for this guy will be?
I hope it's not poison. That'd be so lame.
But
I hope it's not ground.
Is there a water poison type?
Tentacruel?
Oh yeah, fuck. I always forget. I'm like, that seems like an interesting combo. Maybe there is not one, but there is.
Quillfish.
Oh, Quillfish as well. Yeah, it's kind of cool. That is the thing. It's like, do you go with the obvious? Because the obvious would be to do that, and it's a frog, so you can easily go that way. But I just would like them to see something crazy, and obviously, well, it's not like water flying's crazy. Gyarados is a thing, but it would be more interesting, I feel, than just poison, honestly.
Yeah, I think the only dual type that hasn't been done with water is fire.
Oh.
But they can't do that because they also have a fire starter.
They do, but Oh man, I wish. There could be a Pokemon this generation that does do that though, so I wouldn't be too, downhearted by the fact that it wouldn't happen with this guy.
Water Dark.
True, I don't think that's been done, has it? No.
Sharpedo.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Oh,
Fucking
Crawdont.
Tony.
Crawdont.
Oh my lord.
I just told you, man. Fire is the only secondary type that hasn't been combined with water.
Trust Tony, he knows his shit.
It's okay. You can keep trying.
Yeah, I will.
Water Normal.
Yeah.
Fever.
Oh fuck.
I even mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, true. Well, there you go. I guess that we'll have to wait and see.
I'd like to see another water electric like Lantern. And
yeah,
That would
I
be
think
good.
it would be totally badass with that poke. When
definitely.
you look at Froakie,
Yeah.
I could totally see that. Like this. Very
Yeah,
cool. And that cloud.
That's another explanation, of the cloud. I was gonna
Exactly,
say.
that's what I was thinking. I could summon thunderstorms.
That's smart. Maybe the cloud will migrate to be above his head, and he'll be like a depressed frog, but he can also shoot thunder from the cloud. That would
my
be great.
lord.
That would
That
be.
in combination with Nostril Slam, can you imagine the competitive use?
Imagine if his ability was like solo drizzle, so the rain cloud just rained on him when he came in, and he just was the only one to take advantage of the rain. That'd be pretty awesome.
I agree.
So yes, Froakie, the universally acclaimed favorite thing of the starters.
Indeed.
My favorite, but
in our
everyone is
opinions.
entitled to their own personal preference and opinion, but
On
I love Froakie the most.
at this round table at which we are now sitting, it is
Indeed.
and,
Froakie seems to be the winner.
indubitably, indeed. So those are the starters. I hope that you got enough info out of us from that, though it's mainly bullshit that we just come up with on the spot, let's be honest. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to move on to is the legendaries, 2 of them we have, and as mentioned previously, their look kind of mimics the logos, or the logos mimics their look, which would make more sense. X being this deer with giant crazy rainbow antlers, and Y being like a giant dragon Majigga red thing in the sky with huge wings and a massive tail in the shape of a Y. So let's go with X first. Kind of give our thoughts on this. What a majestic creature this thing is! Holy crap! It has a feel of Arceus to it. It has a feel of Swordsbuck. It's kind of like a mesh of the kind of horse archetype of Pokemon that we have already, but with just huge ass antlers. Thoughts on this? Either of
It's got
you?
a hint of Dialga in it as well, if you kind of look at the
Yeah, that's.
body form in the dark blue.
Yeah. I mean, Dialga has that same kind of body shape as well. So, being on all fours, it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. To quote a certain boss of a sour nature, it looks like a mixture of Dialga and Sawsbuck.
Yes, I wonder who that boss of a sour nature could be. It could be anyone, of course, but
Indeed. Let's keep that down.
The possibilities are
Maverick.
endless.
True, truly. This thing just typing wise just kind of confused me. I cannot think at all really what its typing would be. You could say potentially grass because it's in a forest, though looking at it there's no kind of hint that it would be grass. You could say maybe steel if we're going with the Dialga analogy, that maybe it has a hint of that to it. That's a potential. And then I kind of came to the consensus that perhaps it was going to be similar to Arceus in the fact that it uses multi-typing, the fact that it's rainbow antlers could potentially be shifted. Maybe it changes the color of its antlers to fit the type that it becomes, and it's maybe a steel / something else. I don't know, because that happened with Arceus. It kind of happens with Genesect, though it doesn't. Genesect's typing doesn't really change with that stuff, does it? It's the change of the move.
It's just the type that
what move? What's the move?
that move is. Tony, what's the move?
Genabuster.
Technoblast.
Technoblast.
Technoblast, yes, that's the one. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I can't really think of anything else, honestly.
When you look at the previous generations, we know it's a duo. They come in a pair. It's X and Y, so they're a set.
Mm-hmm.
Previous generations, when we have sets, they're either single-typed with different typings, like Groudon and Kyogre,
right?
Or they're dual-typed and they share a second typing, like Ho-Oh and Lugia both have a secondary flying type,
right.
For example.
Yeah.
So if we look at history,
mm-hmm.
we can assume that they either share the same secondary type or they only have one type which is different.
Right.
I hope they are going to stick to that, and I hope they're going to be both one type, because I don't want to have Y be flying and have a Stealth Rock weakness.
Yeah.
I don't know, typing-wise. I think Pokemon X, the deer thing, kind of looks like Psychic-y as well, especially with the antlers.
True, yeah, that is true. It could be sort of Steel Psychic, that's the trope that it kind of fits into. It does have a bit of a Jirachi Metagross feel to it. Those things are all, like, Metagross and Bronzong are both blue. Jirachi isn't, but it still kind of fits that quota. Yeah, that's another interesting thing to think about. What do you think, Rich? Perhaps that, or something else?
Either that, or like looking at the when I initially saw like the overlay and like especially like the eyes
mm-hmm.
of Y, I thought it would be more of like a dark type.
Mm.
So maybe they might do kind of like what Tony was saying, like with a combination of like make them like a pair and have them be like opposite typings, like you said with like Groudon and Kyogre,
yeah.
or kind of like a Diamond and Pearl, like Darkrai Cresselia kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that I'm thinking they do that, except they make them like multi types, like have kind of like have the dragon be or the flying Y be like a psychic, and then like maybe the X be kind of like a dark type, or vice versa. So something like that, or the antlers could hint at that famed light type.
Ooh, new typing, maybe.
New typing.
Confirmed. No.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Light typing is a thing. All Pokemon will be reconverted to some of them being light type.
Start a trend on Twitter. Hashtag light type.
Hashtag light types. Here we go. Trending by the end of today. I like your idea about the dark typing. I think that potentially that could be a thing that could happen, with the, how Tony was saying, Lugia and Ho-Oh like share a flying type, but have secondary typing, or the flying type is their secondary typing. The
Mm-hmm.
dark type could be the secondary typing here, because you could have the flying dark in the form of the Y Pokemon, and then steel dark in the form of this antler one could be a potential thing. So maybe that's where they're going with it. But yeah, I think that we've pretty much talked enough about X. Let's go a bit more in depth on Y. Like, why is Y so cool? No, that's bad.
Well, why not?
Why not? Yes, they both kind of have the similar, like, bluish eyes that are kind of mystical, as they were. But Y is certainly more reminiscent of, dragonish things and flying types in general. But it looks quite distinctive as well. It has like these really long, kind of wide wings, and it's almost like it doesn't have a body. Like its body is almost meets at the center where its arms and its tail meets, and it has like claws at the end of them as well. What are your general thoughts on its design?
I love it. I think it looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely my favorite of the two. I mean, granted, those like really colorful the antlers on X is like a really nice touch, but I mean, the design on Y is so well done, and it looks just so amazing right now. It's got to be my favorite of the two.
It's definitely cool.
I think Y is based off a bat. When you look at its head and body type, I think it's based off a bat, not a bird.
That does make sense, actually. Previous kind of bat Pokemon, the infamous Zubat, of course, was poison. Crobat, poison type. I don't think that's very likely in this scenario. Obviously, it has to have flying type. It's like the one thing that we can say for certain, that it must be flying type. Unless it's some weird scenario where, no, it's levitate, but it is flying through the sky in the trailer, so it would make zero sense to not make it that.
There's plenty of Pokemon that have that, though. Flygon has it, Reshiram and Zekrom have it, that they don't have a flying type, but they fly all the time.
That's
Garchomp
true.
flies too in the anime.
That is true. If we look at the anime, the greatest credible source of information.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, that's a good point to bring up. Yeah, certain legendaries, even Mewtwo can fly, let's be honest, like, he uses its psychic powers. The thing that makes me kind of walk away from that theory is that it does have very obvious wings. So, although Flygon does as well, those are kind of, like, not as prominent, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
sitting there and arguing about this with a man whose name is TonyFlygon.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I'll just go cry. Continue.
No, but you see, like, Flygon has actual arms, whereas this thing's arms are its wings.
True. That is definitely the
But then
factor.
I'm looking at Rich's Gliscor over here, and he kind of does the same thing. So maybe that debunks everything.
Gliscor is a flying type.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying it kind of.
So, guys, remember, if it has arms that aren't his wings, it's not a flying type.
No. Yeah.
Type speculation. I would like to see they're both being psychic, and then X being steel psychic, and Y being dark psychic.
Yeah, and definitely that fits with the color scheme for Y as well, because when it like spreads its wings, it is just purple all over, which is like the psychic color in terms of Pokemon anyway. So that does fit. I could see it going either way. Dark psychic. Either, I think we can say for certain, obviously flying and then steel, although not really for certain with the X Pokemon, but secondary typing's either dark or psychic, and I would be pretty pleased with that.
We don't have dark psychic yet, so that'd be unique.
We don't have.
Yeah, dark psychic would be a really, really interesting type. The only downside would be, the quad weakness to bug.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck about bugs anyway? I do, probably, the most, but yes, never mind. Besides the fact that, like, all my favorite Pokemon are bugs, that's the thing.
Good job there, Mr. Shuckle.
Yeah, what a man. So, that's pretty much the legendaries covered. Let's go a bit into the territory that we encompass, of course, being the competitive side of the Pokemons. What are our hopes, I guess, for these Pokemon competitively, and also perhaps hopes for the competitive scene in general for 6th Gen? Anything that we want to pick up in particular from any of these things?
I hope Y is going to be incredibly broken, so I can abuse it.
In Ubers?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, if it's an OU, then I'll just use it in OU and Ubers.
Yeah. No, I certainly think that we will have a much better idea once we see the final evolutionary forms of these starters. But I just hope that the starters don't fucking blow this time. Like 5th Gen was it's just...
What we can do is predict stat distribution when we look at the starters.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's a good thing that we could go for. So let's start with Chespin. I'd say high speed.
I would agree.
Physically based, and perhaps a strange defensive spread. Perhaps leaning on the lower side, but definitely more of a physically sweeping type Pokemon. Rich?
It It'd be the third generation in a row with a very fast grass type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
No, never mind. Sceptile and Torterra.
Yeah, Sceptile and Torterra, but I mean, yeah, this is all the rest of them have been. I don't know. Maybe it kind of looks too cute to be a tank, at least at the beginning phase of it. So probably it's going to be a little bit quicker. I'm thinking it might be more of like better or the stat distribution might benefit it to be kind of like a mixed attacker.
Mm-hmm.
With kind of like decent attack and special attack, like not stellar in either one, but just like decent enough to where it could be like
Infernape stats.
Pretty much, yeah.
That'd be
Sort of
very
like
cool if we had like a grass Infernape type thing.
Sort of like an Infernape, kind of where it can, like I said, it can be like can pretty much be like a mixed wall breaker in a sense, and then just kind of have mediocre defenses, and then probably mediocre HP stat as well. Tony?
I agree. That's something I would like to see. I just think it will be fast.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be bad at everything else.
Also, to throw another spanner in the works, the fact that it's like covered by this chestnut type thing perhaps could mean that it could have just randomly high defense but still be really fast. Because that does happen. You get weird stat distributions. Maybe its defense will just be abnormally high, but it will still not really be suited to be a defensive Pokemon. But I could see that happening if it had like a sort of shell type armor around it.
Yeah, Scolipede is the same thing.
Yeah.
Or what about Shell Smash?
Oh, please.
Break out of the shell. Chestnuts will be roasting on the open fire.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Shell Smash. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, that would be damn cool.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that would just make that just like that much more potent. Like like I said, if it was going to be like a mixed attacker thing, like that would be. Ooh, that'd be insane.
It'd be tasty, literally tasty. Let's go on to Fennekin, who I mean, the obvious thing to say, fast, specially based, and that's about it. If we're just going off the archetype of Ninetales.
Which is why I'll say base 130 attack, the same as Garchomp. Let's do it.
Physically based fire fox.
Yup, with Flare Blitz and Head
like
Smash.
That. I'd like that, something to kind of contend with Arcanine. That would be really nice, for sure. Yeah, it would be more interesting if they made it physical. I'd certainly be disappointed if it went special, just because that's the obvious thing to do. And also, looking at the trailer, it not really indicates anything because, Pokemon get all sorts of physical and special moves, but it uses what seems like a special, like an Ember. But I mean, that's not really surprising because everything will get Ember when it's a fire type. But
yeah, it changes up during evolutionary lines as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Hold on. What's wrong?
I have no idea. Yes, what were you saying? Evolutionary change up?
Yeah, the old stat distributions. A Pokemon that's, when you look at the first evolution, you think is going to be a special attacker will end up being a physical attacker, and the other way around. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen from time to time.
And then there's multiple forms, like Gallade and Gardevoir, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, Darmanitan and Darmanitan Zen mode. Of course, different stat distributions as well.
Yes. They don't really do that kind of thing with the starters, but I would like.
I agree with that. Yes.
They just usually go down this kind of safe route. They look at the thing would be most obvious really, and just kind of go with that from what it kind of looks like, I guess. I would very much be surprised if it was a slower poke. Doesn't really seem like it would be slow. It's a fox. It's gonna be quick. Although maybe not so streamlined because it has giant ass ears and a bulb for a tail. So who knows? Maybe it'll be slowed down by those. Let's see. Interesting if it had like a large HP stat. Definitely.
I think Froakie is going to have a large HP stat.
Yeah, that seems like the Pokemon. Let's cross into Froakie now because that's a nice transition, I feel.
You're welcome.
Frogs, like Seismitoad has pretty good HP, I feel. Doesn't it? It's like base 1 something.
Yeah, it does. It does have a nice HP stat.
So, it could take on that role as the bulky water. Not that that's surprising. Where have we heard that ever before? A bulky water type? Of course not. I would like to see this probably go more defensive, because I feel that that's the best way for it to work. Though it could, surprise us. I just like to see it more balanced, really, with good HP stat.
All the frogs are balanced, though, except Toxicroak. I would like to see, even though I'm predicting high HP, at least that's what I'm expecting they will do. Again, easy, safe. I would like to see this thing to be extremely fast, electric water, and destroy everything.
Yes.
With Nostril Slam.
Nostril. But that, I mean, like, if all three of them were pretty quick, it'd be the first generation where we don't really have, like, a slow, bulky type Pokemon. Like, Emble was really kind of that in 5th gen, and I think there must be every gen, like, the more slow Pokemon. And there's always one that's kind of, like,
Swampert,
Torterra, Swampert,
and
Meganium.
Blastoise. And...
Yeah, there's always kind of the bulky-ish, flobbish one, which it seems most likely that, yes, this will be it. But it would be nice if they kind of buck the trend and changed it up a bit. Most certainly.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so we're hoping for that kind of thing across the board. Let's go to the legendaries real quick, and I'd say we can look at these in the context of the Ubers metagame as opposed to OU, because they'll probably have to be tested, obviously, when they come out, and we don't know what kind of threats there are going to be around in 6th gen. So let's take a look at them in that context first, and what you think their stat distribution is going to be like. I'll go straight, Tony. With Y, let's start off with.
Looks quick. Doesn't look bulky. Could be mistaken. I think physical attacking quick.
Yeah, that seems good. Especially when you have his giant claws there, it kind of lends itself more to physically offense.
And when I say it doesn't look bulky, I mean uber standard, so it's probably gonna have like base 90 defenses or something.
Oh yeah, clearly. Like, it'll still have high stats.
Yeah.
It's a legendary, that's what they do to these guys, especially title legends. But what do you think it's gonna start, it's gonna do the same thing as like Black Kyurem and White Kyurem and just have ridiculously high attack, or?
No, I think it's gonna have high speed, like Mewtwo high speed.
Okay, but also like attack to match that.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, it could be like a physical version of Mewtwo.
Yeah, that would be really interesting, actually.
I agree.
Yeah, I think its like main role, in like whatever metagame it winds up in, is probably going to be something kind of like a revenge killer. It looks like something that's going to just like, it looks like
I hope it gets U-turned.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if it got U-turn, that would be certainly a huge asset.
Yeah, just slap a choice scarf on it and GG. But no, like Tony was saying, it looks like it's going to be fast. I mean, it looks like, it's going to just swoop out right from the sky and just snatch you up with its talons and just, like, zoom off,
and
like,
drop
in the distance. And just, just throw you to the ground. So, yeah, definitely really quick. I guess, the big, huge, threatening, like, claws would make it, appear to give it more of, like, a physical attack preference. So, yeah, I kind of have to agree with Tony here. It looks like a really, really fast physical attacker.
Yeah. Now, we're going to assume that these Pokemon are both going to have the exact same BST. That's generally what happens.
Fair assumption. I agree.
Title Legends. So, going on that same note, do we think that it's going to be the converse with the X Pokemon that's going to be specially based, and that it's going to be more defensive, in terms of its spread?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it could be physical as well.
I
mean, a lot of title legendaries have both been the same offensive, like Dialga and Palkia both have 150 special attack and lesser attack. They could both be physical, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you can do anything you want with Pokemon X.
Yeah. It really looks like super flexible. It's almost, I mean, coming back to the Arceus thing, like you could almost see it being like
it could fill so many like holes in a team.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, certainly.
Yeah, it's probably the most majestic looking Pokemon so far.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Sort of like
without a doubt. Yeah. And yeah, I guess kind of what I guess y'all were saying about how it would be kind of more like an Arceus. Like in that aspect, I'd kind of at least predict, if that's the case, its stats to be like really, really, really balanced, like really even throughout the whole stat distribution. So probably like
Arceus
I'd
Light.
say
Arceus Light. Confirmed.
Again, started a trend going on Twitter. Hashtag Arceus Light.
Hashtag.
But yeah, no, I think that this is going to have base stats similar to an Arceus in the fact that they're all going to be either, like, well, they're not going to be like all exactly identical, but they're going to be like relatively close to each other so that you can use it for multiple things on a team.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously these title legendaries most likely will not be, they're not going to be the same kind of stat distribution as your like Celebi type thing. That type of Pokemon will crop up later. Although it's interesting that they haven't shown it yet. They usually seem to show like the Victini or the Celebi or the Shaman type Pokemon much more close to when original information about games come out. I'll be interested to see what that base 100 across the board type Pokemon is like in this gen. Because I always kind of gravitate towards that poke, and it usually winds up being pretty good. So
I hope it's not part psychic.
Well, it would fit with the trend, but we shall see.
Barring Shaman.
Yeah, barring Shaman, true. Let's, I guess, apart from that, any other like general hopes that you have competitively? Do you think that there'll be anything?
I think. A lot of players are hoping for a Ghost Steel type, preferably with Levitate.
Just get Kitsuno and just put it in the game. I'd be happy.
A small little reference to NBZ's Create a Pokemon Adventure. Not bad. I personally have been really, really hoping for a normal Ghost type.
Oh,
that would be another really, really good one too.
Something that I'm picturing is just this very average Pokemon, just this normal guy, like I don't know, a bunny or something. I don't care. It just stands there, and then suddenly, it's like this creepy, ghostly version of it. Like out of nowhere, it's so cool.
Something like a mummified bunny.
Yes, a mummified bunny is exactly what I want.
You could call it Money.
Money!
Fan art, please, of Money, the mummified bum.
Or Bummy.
Bummy!
Or that would be his evolution.
Money
and Bummy.
Money and Bunny. Let's do it.
Shouldn't that be reversed? Shouldn't Bummy evolve into Money?
Maybe.
Because people go from bums to getting, I don't know.
Okay.
I see your logic there, not bad.
Yeah, good. That was good. That was fun. Yeah, that's good hope.
Electric spikes, maybe? No, that'd be broken as fuck with Jirachi.
I was hoping for like frickin' some kind of alternative stealth rock option. With a different typing, perhaps.
Actually, here, hold on, Tony. Let's go into this. Let's say that you lay up electric spikes or whatever, and let's say you lay up toxic spikes. If a particular Pokemon switches in that is susceptible to both types, which one takes effect first?
Whichever you lay down first.
I would say whichever you laid down previously, because that would be the one that goes over the top of the other one. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
But if you have nice little accuracy, you place them side by side. What would happen then?
Yeah, maybe you just land in the middle and dodge them both.
Maybe you can let the opponent's Pokemon choose. Like, pick your poison.
Oh, that would be...
Which spike do you want up your ass?
But that would kind of defeat the purpose, because then they could just choose the one which is most
Yeah,
beneficial
it's a
to
horrible
them.
idea in general. I'm not really sure why we're discussing it.
Yeah.
Or new game mechanic, dual status,
Oh no,
Oh,
please,
that's
no.
paralyzation, and
No.
poison.
No.
Okay. How about a serious suggestion? Fire type priority.
Yes, that is
I
exactly what I was
definitely
going
agree
to
with
say.
that. Fire type priority, yes.
I wanted that for 5th gen, and it never showed up. There actually wasn't really any... Well, like, I don't think there was any new priority in 5th gen.
Make it heat more signature attack so it'll go OU.
Yes! That would be glorious.
Go ahead and pass it to Mag Cargo as well.
Cargo through breeding, not bad.
You think specially based fire or physically based? I would go specially based.
Specially based.
Yeah.
Specially based is probably more broken, so let's do that.
Yeah, specially based fire priority, something that I would like.
You know what would be interesting would be like a grass fire type with chlorophyll.
Yes, cause
Solar beam fire blast.
then it would be
Yeah.
the first grass type which could actually abuse the sun properly.
With the stab fire move.
Exactly. Do we think any other Pokemon are going to get Drizzle or Drought, or in fact Snow
He's
Warning?
not. I
Side
hope
stream?
not.
I do hope that they kind of
Optimistic.
rein that back a bit, because it did kind of dominate so much of 5th gen that it seems like
It still is dominating.
Yeah, it still is. It's just like, well, you kind of want to concentrate on other things as opposed to that. And it would be nice if we could do that. But we'll see. Maybe they'll introduce a new weather type. Who knows? They could do that.
Gosh.
They have it in their
Indeed.
ability.
Wind.
Wind. Everything that's really just light gets blown over and takes damage each turn. Or if you're really heavy, you just stay there. Yeah.
Would Hurricane change typing?
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
I don't think
Would
so.
Hurricane be dual type?
No, because wind
Flying wind.
wind would be the flying weather then, wouldn't it? It's not like
Oh, and that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
make Hurricane 100% accurate, so rain
Yeah.
would be overpowered.
or
And maybe a boost or another secondary effect.
yeah, perhaps could be interesting.
Yeah, like knockoff, Smackdown as the secondary effect, because the wind knocks you
Slows you
over.
down, yeah. Hey, that's cool. And then you could have like Hurricane Earth Power combo going down. Yes,
Brilliant.
it sounds genius. Look at our incredible minds. Come on, Game Freak, why are you not hiring us yet? Holy shit.
Word.
Unbelievable.
We're starving artists. We need money.
Yeah, jeez. So yeah, that's a good amount covered, I feel. Let's talk quickly about the new engine. And when I say engine, I basically mean the look of the game, how it visually is represented, and the differences between this and obviously the DS games. From what we've seen so far, it looks basically fully 3D, but still from that kind of Pokemon more isometric viewpoint. That they
Yeah, I see what you mean.
stuck with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a 3D world in the sense of Colosseum. More like they've gone halfway between Colosseum and Black White 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, of course, on a DS, it's extremely difficult to get high quality 3D.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard. It's really hard to like be able to like fully rotate upon like all three axes, on a DS. So
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've already seen, like it does look like like from what they were given, it looks pretty damn good.
And especially, like, I like how much they have updated the actual battling, not mechanics, but the battling aesthetics. Visuals, aesthetics, yes. Because it is basically a Battle Revolution style thing, but it's kind of more compressed. Like, the Pokemon are close together. The viewpoint that you have is the same, essentially, as what you have on the DS. It's just fully in 3D. But it's using full 3D models, and the animation is all 3D as well. And it's when a Pokemon gets hit, it kind of like zooms in on it, like Battle Revolution does, or even Stadium did back in the day, which I think is definitely a nice thing, and it kind of widens the gap in terms of the aesthetics between, something like Pokemon Showdown and the actual game, because we were getting to a point with Showdown, especially, where there wasn't a huge amount of difference aesthetically between the actual DS game and the simulator. Whereas now it kind of widens that gap a bit more and perhaps, makes it more, interesting on Wi-Fi as opposed to just looking a bit blander. So I think that's kind of cool.
I agree. I think it is an improvement, especially as someone who started with PBR when it comes to the whole
Tony,
competitive
PBR legend.
Hipster.
Back in the
Fly 7 gun.
Not bad.
Fly 7-0. G0.
Yeah, this is true.
Yes.
You guys remember my username? That means so much to me. Okay. I'm fighting my tears. It's okay.
It's your Skype name, buddy. Come on.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, don't feel so special anymore, do you?
Yeah.
Guys are dicks. Anyway, what I was saying, I think it's good. I like the 3D aspect, and especially since it's on the 3DS, I think they could not get away with not doing it.
Mm-hmm. They had to move it into the future, otherwise it would just be like, what the fuck, you got all this power, just use it already.
However, there's one downside. Quality-wise, I think it looks worse because of the 3D. Like, for example, as video makers, we all have made videos in 4th as well as 5th gen.
Yes.
You can tell the difference when you look at the back sprite of your Pokemon on your videos in a Heart Gold Soul Silver battle compared to a Black and White battle. The Black and White Pokemon will be a lot more pixelated, not as clean.
Yes.
When you look at the Heart Gold Soul Silver one, it's perfect quality.
Yes. I mean, a lot of that is attributed to the fact that there's no sprite movement in 4th gen, as opposed to the sprites are always constantly moving in the 5th gen battles. So,
but still, the decrease in quality is definitely noticeable, and I hope that they won't make it even worse.
Something else we haven't really touched on is how this will affect the YouTube battling community in terms of recording videos and playing on the actual 3DS, because currently we all are very happy because we use Ace cards and we have PokeSav available to us, and it's an easy life. We just make Pokemon on our computers, go on our way, and it's done and dusted. We've come to a point where we have no need for doing anything else, but obviously 3DS has not been hacked yet, and there's no solution in terms of emulation, and there's no real way to create Pokemon and put them onto a cartridge on the 3DS. So what's going to happen in terms of YouTube? Is it going to regress? Are we going back to the days of camera? Are we all going to have to EV train again? Like, think about that. It's kind of ridiculous, and it's come.
I'm just gonna pray for an emulator before October 2013.
Oh man, it's a bit of a pipe dream right now. Like,
if anything, I'll just study and learn it to do it myself, and I'll make one, because I'm not gonna buy a 3DS.
The easiest thing to do would be to get a 3DS capture device, in terms of recording anyway, and then live record from a 3DS while you're battling. That's probably the best thing to do in terms of actually getting the visuals down. But in terms of, EVing and IVing and everything like that, it's back to ye olden days when we actually had to put some effort into making things, as opposed to now where we just have the luxury of getting whatever the hell we want whenever we want.
Effort. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So, yes, it's going to be interesting because there are so many new people who have never, ever experienced, back the old days.
Back in the old days when you had the IV breed.
Dude, back in the old days when you had to go out with an Alakazam with Synchronize to get a Ditto of the right nature, which also had, you use Synchronize to get the Ditto of the right nature, which also had good IVs. They used those good IVs with another Pokemon, which also had good IVs, to make an egg, which hopefully would also have good IVs, would also have the right nature, would also have the right egg moves, and then you would also have to hatch it, and if you wanted a shiny, you'd have to do that, and if not, think how many stages there fucking were. Like, this is
and that's not even considering EV training or getting any of the power items to hold onto them, nor having to suffer through the battle tower to earn enough battle points to buy all of the power items to fasterly EV train your Pokemon.
And also to get Pokeros on them, and also to get the right TM so that you would have the right moves.
Basically, don't get us started because we will never stop.
If
you guys seem emotionally scarred. Are you guys okay? Has your life been too difficult for you so far?
I think it's an experience that everyone should go through, and I'm glad to have gone through it, honestly.
I think I need to re-upload my EV training guides.
I think so, Rich. I think you're.
I think it's about that time.
You're gonna be, a wealthy man.
Rolling in that YouTube chump change, yay!
Indeed. Yeah, it's an interesting time for this entire YouTube thing.
I'll tell you what, those were the best days. Straight up.
They were.
Those days were the best. They were amazing.
We may have been naive, we may not have been as good, but hell, they were brilliant times. They were.
Exactly. We felt proud of our Mons.
Oh man, it was like a connection. It was like the anime. You have a bond.
I know.
With
It's
Pokemon
like
you have trained.
The hours that I have put in to make you good, you have done well. You have served me well. Great job.
Yeah.
Well done. Good play.
Not bad.
It doesn't matter that you have a 23 IV when I would prefer 31. It doesn't matter. It's all about the character of the Pokemon.
Willpower.
The willpower and the sheer just personality.
Determination.
Personality. So, I think that we have pretty much
digressed.
Hung this dry. We have talked a fuck ton, and
at least for now.
At least for now, we've got to wait for more details to surface, and then we can come back and say even more stupid stuff that's probably wrong, hey? But yeah, for now, that's pretty much going to be it. I will allow you guys to plug yourselves heavily, as you so rightly should do, and then we'll be on our way. So,
Tony, go ahead.
Tony.
Hi, my name is Tony. Nice to meet you all. I go around on YouTube as TonyFlygon. Flygon is my favorite Pokemon, and Tony's my name, so that's the username.
You're like a 10-year-old. My name is Tony, and my favorite Pokemon is Flygon, so I just put them together.
And I'm like a 10-year-old, so if you want to subscribe, feel free. And yeah, I'll pass the mic to InertFury, Rich, youtube.com/InertFury. Go check him out as well. I'm totally doing your job right now. I'm making your life so much easier. You have no idea.
Actually, I do have an idea. All I have to say now is hi, hello, nice to meet you. If for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rich. My favorite Pokemon is Gliscor. My YouTube name is not Rich Gliscor because I'm not that cool. I instead go by InertFury because I rarely get mad, so my Fury is inert, obviously. If you want to check me out, you can, youtube.com/user/InertFury. I upload battles, music covers as well, for those of you who enjoy music.
Rich does awesome music, by the way, so you should check
That's what people tell me, so they seem to enjoy it, so I keep doing it. Yeah. And I hope you all personally enjoyed this podcast. That's myself, Tony, and NBZ have all taken part of, and hopefully, for the next update, we shall return and bring you more random speculation.
Or round table discussions at an actual table, which is, of course, round.
Wait, I need to say one more thing.
Go, Tony.
Go ahead.
Don't forget to check out the links and Zeldas in the description. MVZ subreddit, IGN, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and LP channel. Goodbye.
That was speedy, quick, and efficient. And with
really quick. Yep. None of this would ever be possible without our great friend, Wild Chase. Please do go check him out at youtube.com/TEH Wild Chase. WILECHAS.
Of course, the great Wild Chase. Check out Wild Chase's subreddit, reddit.com/r/the Church of Wild Chase. And and we will return, maybe, at some point in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.
What's up later, guys.